Right. Okay. So we did the first part 3 question about when do people normally send gifts to others. I think we did that one. I think you were the first I think I said you were the first person to realize it was about sending. Is that right?
Oh, right.
Yes. Okay.
Remember.
Right. Okay. So do people give gifts or money on traditional festivals?
I think recently that's a more common happening to give money to others as a gift, um, because that's more convenient, and as a technology is developed, so we can easily send the money than compared to the past. So I think that's the way is way easier than the past, and also some people really prefer to like getting a money as a gift. Then they can choose their gift on their taste, and that's a more the convenient way. So I think that's a more like popular these days.
Okay. So I think your answer's fine, but I just want to challenge it a little bit because it's specifically about traditional festivals.
Oh,
And my understanding here is that in Korea, it is part of the tradition for kids to ask for money or to get given money from the grandparents or the parents on, let's say, Lunar New Year or one of the other traditional festivals. Isn't that right? That the kids go to the adults and they
oh,
get given money. Isn't that part of the tradition at that time?
yeah, I think so still. And can I get a can I get a question again, please?
Yes. Okay.
I think
Yeah.
I got confused about it.
Yeah, that's okay. No, if you at any time you can ask me to repeat the question, but yeah, fine. Okay, so do people give gifts or money on traditional festivals?
Uh, yeah, can I answer again then?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, yeah, occurs like on many festivals or holidays in Korea. Like we have some tradition to give like gifts or money to like between families and other friends or friendly people. Like for instance, Luna Day, like like there is a Luna Day. It's like a New Year anniversary in Korea. Most of the child they express their bow and like respectively to their like older families. Then the older families give some pocket money to children. And also like not only about money, like we are sending gifts to families and other coworkers and friends in like holidays, especially such as the fruits and the shampoos or other gift box.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah. I mean, the reason I'm aware of this is that although it's different, but when I lived in Hong Kong for the Chinese New Year, all of it was slightly different. So all of the unmarried secretaries in the office would go around to all of the married people in the office and they would stand in front of their desk on Lunar New Year and say "Gung Hei Fat Choi," and they would sort of like go in front of them, and they expected
Oh,
everybody to give them money. So all of the unmarried females would go around the office asking for money from everybody. Well, I say
oh,
from the married people, which
oh,
for a Westerner, when it's not your culture, like this person has never spoken to me before, but now they're asking me for money as part of their tradition. It
oh,
seems a little bit cheeky to me. And then for the rest of the year, they'd never speak to you again either. It's just that was the accepted rule in Hong Kong. What was interesting, because I worked there for such a long time, because I was there for
oh,
7.5 years, and
huh.
of course, some of those secretaries got married during the time that I was there. And then
Oh,
they couldn't ask for money anymore, and used to see the other secretaries would then go to them and ask them for money because now they were married and they had to give money.
Oh, that's
and
interesting.
and also the money has to be given in a little red envelope. So they have this. It's called, well, the money is called lycée. They call it lycée. So, and you have these little red envelopes that you have to buy, and you put some money in it, and you just give them the envelope. So
Oh,
you're not actually handing money to them. You're giving them a little red envelope. So
oh,
that was the tradition in Hong Kong. I never really
oh.
liked all this, people asking me for money. I never really appreciated that.
They can ask to like other people, not only families, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
so
kind of
I mean,
interesting.
I wasn't senior there. I didn't have a senior position, so they didn't really bother me too much. But
Oh,
if someone was a manager or a director, if
uh-huh.
they didn't give money, they got a very bad reputation. So, and the
Oh,
company was an Anglo-American company, so most of or at least half of the directors in there were either English or American or Australian or something like that. So they had to give money. If they didn't give money, they got a really bad reputation from the Chinese.
that's
So
kind of really fun.
yeah.
Wow. I should
Um,
ask to money to like a manager in Hong Kong then.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Certainly at
Mhm.
Lunar New Year, definitely. Yes.
Oh.
Right. Okay. Is it hard to choose a gift?
Well, it depends on like the people who I should give a gift. Like to friends is could be a easy one because I know what they like and interest in, but like some people who are not familiar with like both or some people who I should express respect, then it could be a kind of hard one because like I should pick the gifts carefully, and if I didn't make a goal, like a right choice, then it could be like a make some like awkward situation between like the people and me. So I think it depends on the people.
Yep. Good answer. Yeah, good answer. Um, do people feel happy when receiving an expensive gift?
Uh, well, it depends on people, of course, but like in my case, I definitely feel happy, you know, like it depends on like who give me the gift, like the expensive one. Like if someone like very familiar friends or my boyfriend gave out like a fancy stuff like an iPhone or Chanel bag, it could be like very happy. But if somebody like a random stranger people like give out something really expensive stuff, then it could be a very like I could be like under the pressure and what this is mean of the gift like so. And I think the enough like the right relationship could be a bring some right price and gift.
Good answer. Very good. Yeah, really good. Okay, so let's have a look at go back to part one questions again. So, where do we get to? What was the last one we did? TV programs. Okay. Right. Okay. So, let's talk about your daily routine. What is your daily study routine?
Well, when it comes to my daily study routine, I start with the morning English podcast in my morning, and I usually watching TV show like Netflix English stuff TV show, like including Modern Families and the Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like while I'm eating breakfast. After that, uh, I do memorize my vocabulary list and take a breather for afternoon. And I start my English study in evening time again for like recording myself to speaking. Then my main I revise my errors or mistakes. That's my like daily studying routine.
Wow, you're an example to all the other nurses who don't have a daily study routine.
I mean, a little bit a little bit oversized, but
Is
yeah,
it?
I try to do this. Yeah, to be
Well, I was
hygienic
very
and
impressed. So some of the others say to me, "Well, I get up in the morning and I have a shower, and then I have a cup of coffee, and then I do my yoga." I thought, "Yeah, well, when are you going to do any study?" "Oh, I need to be relaxed first." Is it? Yeah. I think you need. I think you actually need
that's
to
true.
study a bit more.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned what was that? Brooklyn 99 or Brooklyn 99? What's that? I've never heard of that. What is that?
Like the American TV, one of the comedy TV show in American and on Netflix, and it's a story about the cops in New York, and they are just it's like cop stories, but not
Okay,
that much serious. They're just doing like kidding all the time and
right.
showing ridiculous, yeah, show.
So what are the podcasts that you listen to? What kind of podcast do you listen to?
Uh, it's especially on IELTS stuff. Uh, what is the name of it? Like there is a two-pack IELTS podcast, and the one is I forget the name, sorry, but it's about the Canadian guy who lives in Korea, and he talk with some other English native speaker, and they talk about some specific topics. Sometimes it could be a environment and like cutting edge technologies and other some specific like topics, and they start talking about this topic like for 20 minutes to 30 minutes, and they say they speak kind of slower than they would speak in the normal life, and they explain what is it, what is culture from this life. So it's really easy to understand
Mm,
to Korean.
okay, that's good. Right, yeah. So there's a website or a channel on YouTube called IELTS Advantage, and the guy that runs that is from Northern Ireland. Um,
Oh.
and it's I think he's got his own school over there, and I think he employs a lot of teachers, like online teachers and everything. But he if you look at IELTS Advantage, they've got a lot of useful tips on there about IELTS. You know, when
Mm.
they come up on my YouTube feed, and whenever I watch them, I'm always thinking, yes, this is the same thing that I say. So his opinion about things is the same as my opinion, which is good for me because it means, have you ever changed your routine?
Yeah, definitely. Like life is not going well than what I expected. So sometimes like uh urgent or sudden event coming in my daily life. Like for example, yesterday, my boss called me like I need to clean like my old company closes. So I had to cancel my appointment and studying routine, and eventually I went to there. So there are so many a little and big situation and changes my life. So it's happened a lot.
So you said in one of your other answers, you talked about being, I think about your work and study answers. You talked about being a nurse where you've got a variety of tasks or situations that you work as a nurse. So,
Mm,
so is that, and what I normally say to people for this particular question is, I think that's a good excuse for saying, yes, I have to change my routine. As a nurse, um, often, particularly the ones who are working shifts, it's very difficult
mm,
to maintain a routine because my shifts are always changing. Therefore, I have to change my routine. So
mm,
I think it's a simple answer to the question. I think that about you can use refer to your job as a reason why you have to change your routine.
Oh, good tips. Thank you. I think I will use it. Mm,
Okay, so do you think it is important to have a daily routine for your study?
Uh, of course. I mean, not just me. Like many people need to their own daily routine studying, because studying is not a easy one. So uh, if you study organize and efficiently, then it could be a better score and result in your goals. And also, sometimes we really that's a more I mean that's a like if you have a great routine, then it could be a great strategies to overcome the your dream.
Okay. I think you have your doubts about that, and I have my doubts about it as well. Okay. What I would say is that as someone, and let me say straight away that I was terrible at studying when I was going through school, and then when I went to university, I was really bad at studying. And it's only as I've got a lot older that I've realised that having a daily routine is actually vital for getting a high score in something. So I think if you, and the problem that I always had was that I didn't have a routine, I didn't have a schedule, I didn't have a list of things that I was going to do. I used to just sit down with some books and expect the information to transfer from the books into my brain, and it never did. So I think you need to have a routine where you have different activities at different times of the day, and you need to do those things on a regular basis so that you improve in different areas. You know, like small steps improvements in different areas. You know, this I know now. I wish I'd have known this 40 years ago. It would have saved me. Well, if who knows what I might have made of my life if I'd have known how to study. I was terrible at studying, really terrible at studying. But now I realize it. So I could. You don't have to make all the mistakes that I made in my life. So yeah. So I mean,
Well, I mean,
small
but
steps.
you're yeah, you're working at studying areas, but right?
Who, you know, it's a little bit like they made a movie at one time that in order to catch a thief you need to have a thief, you know. So there was a movie called To Catch a Thief, which meant that they took one thief to catch another thief. So someone who's really bad at studying can tell the people who are really bad at studying, okay, don't be like me, this is how you do
Ah.
it. Okay, don't make the same mistakes that I made. So
Okay, that's a wise.
but yeah, I mean, you know, I think the problem is that we all expect to make immediate improvements and like really big steps improvement, and that's really not the way that most people improve. Some people, like we talked about memory and we talked about photographic memory. Some people have got a photographic memory. They're very, very lucky. Other people have to make small steps every day. And so by having a regular study routine every day, you make small improvements every day. And I think you need to be patient about it because again, I've had students who expect me to sort of like after 2 or 3 classes to sprinkle fairy dust on them and that they can immediately speak English much better than they could 3 days ago. And it's like it's not going to happen like that. You know, learning a language takes a lot of effort and it takes a lot of time. It's just the way it is. It's not an instant process. So you know, I can see from working with my students that well, it's like, you know, if you have classes, I think I said to you before, if you have 3 classes a week, I think you can make improvements. Somebody who only has 1 class a week, I don't see that. I have those students. I've got one student who's been with me now for 2 years. She has one
Oh.
class a week. She's going to be there forever because she just has 1 class a week. You know, and I've told her, she goes, yeah, I know, but I haven't got the time. And it's well, that's okay. You know, if she wants to keep paying me money, she can pay me money and I'll teach her that 1 class a week. I'm not going to stop her, but it's frustrating. You know, she should have already have passed her IELTS and moved on by now, but you know, she hasn't got the right structure to her study. So, and
Oh.
I've seen many students like that, 1 class a week, they don't make any improvement. So you've got to have regular daily study. Well, you're doing daily study, doesn't have to be with me, but you should be doing daily study. You know, every day you need to do something. And
I see.
I think podcasts and movies and TV series, I think they're a really good thing to have as part of your study routine. A lot of my nurse students, they think, oh, it's not important. It's just entertainment. But I really believe if you pick the right material, things like Friends or the ones that you mentioned, I think if you've got the right material, it can be really, really useful. Things like podcasts, very, very useful, I think. because you're listening to something, you're learning something. It could be pronunciation, listening skills, intonation, accent, all of those things you can pick up from something like that. So I think it's very, very worthwhile to be doing on a daily basis. Okay, so what part of your day do you like best?
I think most my day is really great, but my favorite one is afternoon time because I really love the time, the coffee break time after lunch is my favorite one. And also walking with the sunshine is really makes me feel better and think positive way. And also another reason is the afternoon is like most active time in like for a day. So I can see like many people walk around and sometimes they are like eating lunch and just working hard at time. And it makes me really inspired about like passionable day.
Okay, very good. Yeah, good answer. Right, okay, so let's move on to another topic. So cars. Did you enjoy traveling by car when you were a kid?
Uh, I afraid not because I felt like a severe car sick when I was childhood. It's affect me like even now. So I really didn't enjoy to travel by car with my families, and I, I remember like how much I suffer from like to vomit and nausea on the car.
I had the same problem when I was very young. And my parents, they had these tablets that were supposed to cure car sickness. And
Oh.
so because they knew that I was going to get car sick, they'd give me one of these tablets. The problem was I was very young at the time, and I
Oh.
couldn't swallow a tablet, even though they were tiny little tablets.
Oh.
I used to put them in my mouth, and they had a really horrible taste. So they actually made me feel sick.
Oh, for you.
So so they'd give me the tablet, and it'd get stuck in my mouth, and then like 10 minutes later, I'd be vomiting in the car. So then I'd get told off for vomiting in the car. But it was, yeah, very unfortunate. Okay,
Yeah.
so what types of cars do you like?
Well, even I don't like a car that much, but my like favorite one is our SUV because they have a lot of space to storage my like a lot of stuffs and of course and also I can travel with car and camping like with the like SUV because there is enough space to sleep or cook or eat, and also looks very like very gorgeous to me. Like especially the it's my fantasy car like Benz and Range Rover. That's my one of the dream cars.
Okay, good. Do you prefer to be a driver or a passenger?
Oh, definitely being a passenger. Um, I don't have a car license yet, also. And also, I could be a passenger because I can do some like other things while drivers driving, like listen to music and finding like the road to the destination efficiently. And also, I can eating some snacks like and doing like watching beautiful scenery. So I prefer to
Okay,
being a passenger. Yeah.
okay. Um, and what do you usually do when there is a traffic jam?
On traffic jam, like actually, I'm living in a like a very busy city, so I got happened a lot of traffic congestion in my life. So during the jam, I'm usually watching YouTube for killing my time and looking for the how like estimated time to trans traveling. Anyways, so that's the whole I doing on traffic jam.
So
So
when you
I
say
just
estimated when you say estimating the time, I mean, I don't know what kind of sat nav you have in Korea. Does it tell you? Does the sat nav tell you about how long it's going to take to get through the traffic jam, or what the do you get like travel information like the length of the traffic jam or something like that?
Yeah, I'm usually like using the application for like destination, like a map app, and they shows how many times you take to get there. And but it depends on like a traffic jam, right? So sometimes it's kind of changeable. So I need to
Right.
like check it.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. So the question on the next page.
Yeah, the city
Yep.
that you think is very interesting. Mhm.
Okay. So I'll give you a minute to think about that, and your time starts now. Okay, that's your 1 minute of thinking time. So talk to me about the topic for between 1 and 2 minutes, starting now.
There are so many interesting city in I think, but among them, I'd like to say the Orlando. Orlando is located in Florida in um, the U.S. It's pretty southern area in that territory, and it's really famous for amusement park called Disney World and Universal Studio and Legoland. It's like one of the dream city to American who want to vacation on like a sunny weather and like a lot of some fun stuff. And when I have been in there, to be honest with you, but I heard a lot of this city because one of my friends are visiting there and she showed me a lot of photo about this beautiful city and like amusement park too. And I'm supposed to go to this city like in next year, so I'm pretty interested in to move and live in this city. And I heard there are a number of wild animals like alligator and some whale, and it's real. They make a really great like internet like a safety protect park, so I can see them a natural way, not a in a zoo. So it would be a very like exciting me, and also, I heard there is a very big lakes on the city a lot, so they installed like what's that? The some device to spread the water, and that's one of the characteristics of that city. And also, I heard that it's really sunny and nice weather in there.
Okay,
So
that's your 2 minutes. All right. So why are you going to Florida? I thought all the nurses were going to New York. How come you're going to Florida?
I mean, not to brag, but like I lived in like Gangnam. It's like one of the biggest city. Like I lived in here for like over the 7 years, so I kind of sick of to busy city. So
Mm,
I didn't choose to go to New York. Like I already talked with my agency, so they supply some other cities, and Orlando is a good would be a, like a good choice and good opportunity to my career. And
mm.
there is a nice hospital and like that's not a like a biggest city, but there is small city, so I can enjoy some other convenient facilities. Not a that much rural area, and the weather would be a great.
Right. Okay. So let's get on to the part 3 questions. So, what advantages can tourism bring to a city?
Um, there are several impacts. Tourism brings some effect to the city. And first of all, like about income, like if there is a lot of attraction and it brings like many travelers, they spend the money in there and their economy is gonna be very improved well. And another reason is it could be like there are so many facilities, like there are tourism brings some people and they could there then need to spend some money, so and use some facilities such as subway stations and restaurants and malls, then it could be great effect to the not only travelers, to the residents who lives in there. And finally, last but not least, uh,
Are you sure there's a last but not least?
not really. Oh my god. I'm shortage of my ideas now.
Okay, so the
Okay.
first thing I agree with you. You said it brings money, absolutely. So the only you changed the word, the key word twice when you started your answer. So you've said you changed advantages, you changed it to impacts. And then later on you said effects. I think it was all vice versa, but you went away from it, so which was a little bit dangerous. But you kept on talking about positive things, because obviously an advantage, you can have a bad impact as well as a good impact, or you can have a bad effect or a good effect. So I would stick to using the word advantage. Because otherwise, I think there's a possibility you're going to go off topic on it. Yes, I agree. The first advantage is that tourism brings to a city is money. It brings a lot of money to a city. I would say the second thing it brings is, because of the people spending money, it brings jobs. So that's always a good thing for a city. And then, sort of, you hinted at it, because of the money and the jobs, it brings development of more facilities in there. So more and more people open up businesses because there's already lots of tourists in there. So if you think about a city, it's a little bit difficult to imagine it, because cities are already very busy places. But if you think about tourism starting in a place where there wasn't any tourism before, then of course the tourists arrive, they start spending money, and all the locals think, oh, I should open a business there because there's lots of people, lots of foreigners spending money, or tourists spending money. So they open up a business. So it's money, it's jobs, and then it's development.
Wow.
Don't worry, I've practiced. Yeah, you've got no idea how many times I've answered this question with my students. I've been doing this question now since the beginning of January. Of course, I know how to answer the question, because I've been thinking about it for a long time. So don't be too impressed. I'm really, as I said, I'm a terrible student. So if you found this IELTS class useful, informative, or entertaining, please give it a like, subscribe, and share with other people who you think might benefit from these live IELTS class videos using actual examination topics. Most of the students participating in these classes are now living their dream in English-speaking countries around the world. If you want classes with me, you can contact me on X, LinkedIn, MS Teams, or Viber. Details are given in the description below, or on the About page for this channel. Thank you.